It's happened. Delhi Capitals have won a match, and they've won a match against the table toppers, that too. The team at the bottom of the table.
No. 1 versus 9.
Bottom Mumbai. Oh, I know that, but I see bottom. I mean, get the sentiment.
Kabhi has liya karo. They won.
I'm sorry. It is a bit of a shock as well. Bit of a shock because again 1 versus 9.
I think it just sums up Delhi. Why Delhi is like that. No. Delhi fan.
See,
he is not happy when Prithvi Shaw scores run. He's not happy when they, win a match. He's just not happy.
I'm happy.
You know what you should do? You should get up, pick up that whatever. He didn't even wave the flag. He's the most thagela fan there. You put that there.
I must
put it there.
More now.
See,
put that. You don't deserve it.
Just be holding it.
You don't deserve it. Please put it away. He doesn't deserve it.
No, let me in the frame though.
He doesn't deserve it.
We don't have any Delhi element anywhere today.
We do. That jersey.
He started the IPL season by saying that he wore the Delhi jersey first game and said, now every game I'll be wearing that. All it took was
the flag
2
brought
games.
about the change in luck.
All it took was 2 games. That's all.
It
took him just 2 games to get rid of that jersey and be done with Delhi and not be happy with what Delhi does.
Today was about change of luck, which is why I was wearing the jersey. I wore it the first 2 matches, and today just felt like getting some other merchandise, just hoping there was some change in luck.
And you accused me of moke pe chauka.
And yes, it's happened. No, I'm giving you my reasons for not wearing the jersey. It's not like I didn't carry some Delhi merchandise today.
Everyone who's watching us, tell us, does he even remotely look like a fan of a team that's won?
I don't need to get a tattoo done.
Does he even remotely? I never asked you to get a tattue done.
And
didn't even have a smile on his face, his team.
No, it's.
And the first thing he says is not like, yes, we've done it. First thing, it's a bit of.
I'll correct you. The first thing was this.
No, maybe that's okay. The first thing is, I got a bit lucky today, but.
Not lucky, but
what was the word he used?
Luck.
A bit of a pleasant surprise. A pleasant surprise.
No. I remember. It's a bit of a shock today. They have won
1 versus 9. I have no qualms in admitting. Yet Delhi were, it was a David versus a Goliath sort of.
It's like that meme, of that guy getting selected for roadies. मेरा selection हो गया.
This was, I have no qualms in admitting, you playing 5-time champions. This was a David versus Goliath encounter. And when your side, given the way that it lost the first 2 matches, and the opponent on the other side, given how they performed so well, there's no harm in admitting that you were the weaker team in going to the match.
I will fill in for the lack of enthusiasm by Harshit. Even though I'm not a Delhi fan, but I'm mighty excited by seeing this, because what this does is makes the IPL competitive and exciting. Otherwise, you get a situation where then the gap is too much between the top team and the bottom team. Chennai, many will argue, alongside maybe a couple more teams, look like the most threatening of the lot, the strongest team of them. Delhi were looking like, no hopers to begin with. For Delhi to come and win in conditions that probably I would say would have suited the Chennai team more. Even though this is an away game, for them would have suited them more because of good batting track, the kind of batting lineup that Chennai has, all of that put together for Delhi to eke out not just a marginal lucky scrape through. This is a good enough 20-run win. Yes, it was narrowed down, by which we'll talk about some fireworks by MS Dhoni. We'll talk about it a little later. It was narrowed down, but otherwise it was easily a 40-45 run win if that wasn't to be the case. And you could, as I said, you could look at the margin and Chennai do that. If you're wondering why Chennai was still trying to get those runs, they understand the value of net run rates. It might come into play later, if not for the top 4, at least the top 2 if they are to be fighting. So they were mindful of that, which is why they batted the way they did and didn't lose their wickets. But overall, for a Delhi team down and out, having lost their first 2 games, to come out, win this, it tells you we are looking forward to an exciting season. It tells you that if we had Shashwat, maybe he would have given us a dance or something. today.
See, Shashwat, you can expect
If he could
to
stand
get,
on his feet.
I know, that's what I was wondering.
but with Shashwat, see, that's the difference. Shashwat, he can get carried away with emotions at times.
That's what fans do.
And
sometimes.
But that's what fans do.
and
So you are like the Fufaji who's ranted and is like, what do I do
No,
next
but
now?
give credit to it. Who came up with that?
think
Piyush
Nandre.
No, you-
Prakash Jha. Prakash Jha, I think.
I think it was Prakash.
Yeah.
We'll give him credit. In a mid-inning show, that comment came a little later, and I think he summed it up really well. He's like, Delhi is doing so well, but Harshit, the Delhi fan, is like that Fufa who goes to a Delhi wedding, who's upset about something or the other.
गुलाब जामुन मीठे नहीं है.
हाँ गुलाब या जलेबी पूरी पक्की नहीं है या मेरे को किसी ने इम्पोर्टेंस नहीं दी. I wasn't called, पूछा नहीं. So he's that Fufa.
Fufaji. So,
Not happy.
See, Fufaji is even now struggling to get a smile out. See, that is how.
What do you need? You need me to be dancing over here or what?
Arey, do what Shane does na, Ju mein jo pathan.
No.
Let him.
I'm content with my celebration.
He still cannot believe this.
and it's
मेरा
within.
selection हो गया है.
And it's within.
मुझे खुद यकीन नहीं हो रहा.
So, okay, the shock will come later, like how it happened for number 19.
I'll be honest, given the way, again, when Khalil started to bowl all those wides, Mukesh in his third over, again, first two very good overs, I did get my palpitations. It may look like an easy win, but towards the end, I did have my palpitations. And when MS started hitting the ball the way, it reduced the margin. But that tells you that another over here and there.
Seriously, you had palpitations.
Yeah,
There was
you
never
have to
a game was
understand.
safe.
See, because I remember even last year, playing against KKR, that match was supposed to be Delhi's from the time that they got on to bat. But what did Delhi do? They did everything that they could have done
3 wickets to Nitish Rana.
in their powers to have lost it from there also.
76 of
It's-
some 25
see,
needed
I will tell
with
you one
with
thing.
an aging Dhoni and Jadeja not doing well.
Yeah.
I don't think they were ever in a game. You got palpitation for this, then you really have no hope for your team.
I'm telling you, okay,
Seriously.
peak MS Dhoni said 15-16 runs per over required was on the realms of impossible. This was
20 runs
20 plus. This knock was like जब दिया बुझती है
Today-
ना वो last जो flicker होता है, that dazzling flicker, that was it of MS Dhoni.
See, today was, I think this is as good a day for the Delhi bowling unit that will come this whole season. I'll stick by it. I'll stick by it
Why are you
because
so negative?
I'll tell you why. Because it will not always happen that a Khalil will have as good a game.
Sure,
A Mukesh will
sure.
have both of them, and then Nokia can still be
You're
sure
not getting,
of.
you're
But
not getting the main point. I agreed with all of that. My point is today they have won for God's
Yes,
sake.
it's
So
a-
tomorrow they may not do well. They
it's
may
a good
fail.
performance.
But you're not. It's like today, out of all the day, they've won. Instead of saying two basic thing like well played,
Madam,
you know what? This team is nothing.
No, I'm not
they
saying
got
that.
nothing. These bowlers have given the best. They're not going to do well. Prithvi Shaw, we said, we did well. He's just done well today. He's going to fail in the future. For God's sake, look
You
at the
should
brighter
listen to
side.
this Bollywood song.
Smile.
Again,
Happy.
the thing-
Enjoy it for 20,
There is-
48, 60, whatever, 70 hours. I don't know how many
See, he
hours
was born
till
in
they
the
play the
wrong
next
era.
game.
It is maybe a sense of realism that has overcome
Yes,
at the
let
time.
it come. Let it come when the next game starts.
It's
Today
again,
to
I
show
have
that.
been through it season after season to know what to expect.
Dekho.
So today again, will I be having the same attitude? Let's say when playing against an SRH and PBK Solo that match against RCB. No, I'll be going into the match finding myself, no matter where Delhi are in the table, feeling that you have an equal chance regardless of where you're playing. You're playing against a team which has a home away from home no matter where they play in this country. Then, of course, given the start that they had to the season and given the start that Delhi had to the season, I had my reasons to be worried. Simple as that.
Sure, I'm saying they've won now. Finish.
And it's
Contest done. They've won.
It's a good,
Not happy.
It's a good job done.
Pleasantly-
Okay.
सर ने डांस किया था झूमे ने पठान
First, no. First.
ही इज लाइक पीके भगवान
See,
Whatever that
you
is.
should listen to that one song, okay, from Bollywood, okay. सोचना है क्या जो भी होगा देखा जाएगा. कल के लिए आज क्यों न रोना यार. जो होगा आज होगा. Please understand that should be the psyche of the Delhi Capitals.
No,
fan.
he
Of any
started.
fan.
He started the day. We
Yeah.
cannot win against Chennai. Okay, that sentiment I understood. It was.
It's at least fair.
Yeah, they were against up against the wall. Nobody gave none of us also agreed. Started the day like that. Then it moved on to such at least Prithvi Shaw is playing. You know, they might do something. No, it's of no use. He's useless. He's not going to do anything. Anyway, Prithvi Shaw does well. They put up a very good total. You know, Pant comes good, everything. So I thought maybe some, sentiment changes that, okay, now, I had no hope from them. They've put up a good total. They may still lose, but at least they made me happy. That also, no, this is of no use. The Pant played slow. Prithvi Shaw just today has scored runs. He's never going to do it. Match is done. Dusted. You've crossed the line. You've beaten the mighty Chennai. Now it's okay. They just got today, lucky no. What did he say?
Surprise.
No, shocking. This is shocking how they won. So I'm not too happy about it. Anyway, this is the best bowling today. After this, they'll never bowl this well going into the future. So why should I be happy?
No, amazing. So I expect them to do better against certain teams, and against certain teams I know.
So you didn't expect them to do well against this team, right?
Yes, I did.
You did not, right?
I did not.
They've done it. They've won.
Isn't
What is your first thing?
First
thing. Wow. Just looking like a wow.
And
I won't put in an overreaction at the moment because again,
getting Mirgi ka Gaurav looking at you. They have lost far more to CSK, yet they're always delusionally bullish.
that's the difference, Nathan. Like I said, maybe there's a sense of realism that's overcome me
We've
today.
taken away the flag from you.
But that's what separates the two fan bases, maybe then.
Okay, let's talk
Apart
about
from many
more
other
pleasant things, more positive things like MS Dhoni coming in the end and giving the fans worth their money. But before I have a question, this is played in Vizag, but it is a Delhi home game.
It didn't feel like a Delhi home game.
But that I'm not surprised because I went to a match in Delhi
Yeah, and that
and didn't feel like a Delhi home
Exactly.
game because last season that game was with Chennai
Yeah.
and I went to the ground to the Firozshah Kotla to watch that game. Dhoni was playing and that didn't feel like Delhi. So this does not come as a surprise to me that this was anyway not Delhi. It's Vizag, which is closer to Chennai than it is to Delhi.
Yes.
So anyway there would have been like more supporters. But what I wanted to know is what was the idea? I mean, maybe you could, what was the idea of having Vizag as the home?
I mean, imagine they played their last home game in Jaipur, and then they have to come down to
Home
Vizag.
game.
I mean, they played their one game, the last game that was at Jaipur, right?
Yeah.
You come to Vizag, which
Yeah.
is far away from Jaipur, and then you are going to head back to Delhi. Why so much?
You're here for 2 games.
After this KKR, that's it.
No, you're playing 2 games here, so that was always the plan
So what
because
is now-
Why?
Why
the
Vizag?
the idea was because it was overlapping with the WPL and you didn't want, Ricky Ponting was of the opinion that you don't want used surfaces, and as we know the second leg of WPL was played in Delhi, so multiple surfaces over there were
That's
used.
fair. The point is why
Vizag? Why not a Ranchi? Why not a Nagpur? Why
No,
not a
why
Indore?
Ranchi, Nagpur? If you should be in your catchment area, na?
Mohali. But
No.
Mohali is
Punjab
anyway
Kings.
taken.
No, you could have had any other stadium here, in and around north of India. You could have played, isn't it?
But you
No,
don't
but
know how these things
Most
work
Punjab
out.
have got 2 catchment areas. One is Mullapur and Dharamshala. Delhi, Lucknow have.
Delhi is still closer to Dharamshala. You could have played.
But that's already Punjab Kings' home.
Punjab.
Okay,
You can't
it's
have
okay. Then that way, to Vizag is also SRH's
Second home.
Second home.
Exactly. So then you've gone there. So why can't you do
For
Dharamshala?
example, Deccan Chargers, I can understand. Hyderabad in 2010, but they also had most of the home games in Nagpur. But that was closer. Hyderabad, Nagpur is closer. But Delhi, Vizag.
Again, we don't know how these things work
I
out. What
know.
stadium was available, what's the infra like, or the present facilities at hand. So yeah,
I think
one of those things maybe.
Beats me. Anyway, Shivam, whatever you are typing, none of us can read that
Yeah.
because aging. Anyway, coming to MS Dhoni, what do you reckon?
As I said, when the lamp extinguishes the few dazzles of that lamp and the brightness that is there, that you saw on exhibition today, and see MS Dhoni in Vizag, he does come out with some very special things. For example, in 2005, he had scored his first ODI century. It was in Vizag. Okay.
Against Pakistan. wasn't
Against
it?
Pakistan, 23 runs in that one final over. He had hit of Akshar Patel. That was in Vizag. Now here, 37,
That
60.
knock from Vizag actually gave him the lifeline to continue in international
Yeah.
cricket. Had he not succeeded there, maybe a game or two, maybe would have never got a chance to play for India again. That Vizag game if you've seen the film also or seen various interviews he's done or wherever he's spoken about, that was almost do or die for him, that situation.
That's
And
what he says.
turned around.
You don't know me because I've not done anything worth knowing.
Yeah,
and I think he promoted himself to number 4.
He did not
wouldn't have
promote,
promoted
the
him.
captain did. He was not the captain at that time.
But he got
I
a
know you
promotion.
think he's superhuman, which he is in a lot of times, but at that
Really?
time he did not wield that kind of
And he wasn't Thala for a reason then.
that was
later.
that was, by the way, I don't know if I've told you that story, because this is a story that Saurabh himself told me, that Saurabh's the one who promoted him at the risk of pushing himself down the order, but he promoted him. He told him on the day of the game that I'm going to make you bat at number 4, and he pushed him. He batted. And interestingly, Dada told me was that later, I think it was the same day when they were coming back in the bus, and he congratulated him, well played. And Dhoni told Dada that now you'll never make me play that on the top order. No, because fearing that now that I've done well, I will then be kind of a threat or whatever, because that was a position that, Saurav and a lot of other top order batters were competing with. That time there was Sachin, Virendra Sehwag, a lot of them. No, not Lakshman, in ODI cricket. Yeah. So a lot of competition. So he said, now you won't ever push, I'll never get to play there again, right? And Dada told him that no, I will, but don't also think that this is your slot.
Yeah.
I have pushed you there for a reason, and I'll keep pushing you there, but as a surprise. So once in a while, I push you up the order and you'll play. Your position remains lower, middle order. Once in a while, I'll push you, and that changed.
Like Dada says that नीचे 6, 7, 8 पे बन के कोई खिलाड़ी थोड़ा बनता है, बैटर बनते हैं ऊपर के.
And 19 years later, Dada's in the Delhi dugout. And
Tell me one thing. I would just say, I know that Ravindra. Again, Jadeja won them the final last time, and I know he's been good. But in terms of, and I know that Jadeja, the ODI batter, has also been oftentimes, been good. He's helped you. But Jadeja, the T20 batter, I have not found him as explosive as a Dhoni would be, and as Dhoni showed today. Could things have been different had he come out to bat instead of a Jadeja at that time? Because if you see the number of deliveries faced, Jadeja has faced 17, but majority of them came before MS had come.
Yeah.
After that, MS took the strike, right? I am saying that if MS is in as good a form as he is showing us today, got them as close as a 20-run gap, had he come out to bat alongside a Shivam Dube, okay, Rizvi I'll understand because he's expected to be a big hitter, also did not waste any deliveries, got out early, fine, can happen, one day you do well, the other day you don't. But after that, I thought you could have looked at MS Dhoni to come in.
I mean, barring that one final, when has Ravindra Jadeja ever won you a game?
Exactly.
When?
Bat.
With the bat, ODIs and even T20Is, he's never won you a game.
Yeah.
2009 onwards, see, that 25 of 35 that Ravindra Jadeja played in the 2009 T20 World Cup, that was a starting point. It was an amber signal. Boss, this guy will struggle to close out games. When Sachin Tendulkar got out for that 175 in Hyderabad, 19 of 18, you choked. Even then, 2019, that artificial excitement was created. But at 92 for 6, you knew the game was done. Dhoni took it deep, failed. 77 when Jadeja hit that shot.
But
31 of
2019,
12.
I will still
CT
blame Jadeja far less.
But
So
CT
2019,
CT13.
CT, but where with the bat?
Yeah, he was mostly impactful with
Ball.
the ball.
Tell me today, again, if it was left hand, right hand also I would understand, right? Rizvi got out.
Yeah.
Who's on
So
98?
yeah, so Dhoni could have easily walked in because Dube was there at that time. So it could have been a Dube-Dhoni combination. And of course, Dube got out next,
Yeah.
in which case Jadeja then could have replaced. So even if you want to look at left hand, right hand, you could have seen this combination. I don't know. I have a feeling, again, it's hoping against hope, or sometime maybe, the kind of image that MS has or things that he's done sometime, unbelievable things. I know he's aging, but did not show any signs there, right? His hitting was there, whacking the deliveries, whether they were Yorkers, whether they were short delivery. The first one he got, hit him for a 4. Looked like MS Dhoni of old in terms of his hitting prowess. I want to know from everyone, maybe you can go one by one. Could the result have, I mean, are you giving, I know that nobody can predict 100%, but do you think the result could have been different. There was a possibility the result could have been different if MS Dhoni, one by one, if MS Dhoni walked out in place of Jadeja at that time, and by which, instead of the 16 balls that he's faced, there's a good opportunity he would have faced about 30 deliveries. Right, at the same strike rate, he gets about 50, 55, 56, something like that. I'd love to know. Okay, maybe we start from the left.
Yes. Because if you look at how Khalil was bowling when he had to front up to Dhoni, this is a guy who was staring at figures at I think 2 for 7 or something.
9 for
9 at that point in time with his final over. And when he saw Dhoni, listen, this is a Dhoni who's years removed from international retirement. He's at best playing only cameo performances now in the IPL. That man started sweating. Like, no bones about it. Once so many white balls was coming, not because he wasn't only able to execute, but he wasn't able to execute that plan because he knew if it's slightly here, Dhoni's punishing him. Let it be a slot ball. He's gone. Send him up a little higher. What's the harm? What is this need to have him save him for only 14, 15 balls? I don't understand, especially when the other option is Jadeja, who, much as I rate as a batter, has sometimes been found wanting, can get bogged down. He's more of a solid bat rather than an explosive bat. Jaddu?
No way. It would have made zero difference in the result. Are you seriously telling me Dhoni will play 30 balls and get to 55 or a 65?
Yes.
Okay, supposing he plays 30 balls. 18 balls, he will still take his time and take it deep. The remaining 12 balls, he will do what he's expected to do today.
He did that year also and is still playing.
No pressure.
No, but sir, what would have changed? I agree that sometime he is been or has been guilty of taking it deep and waiting for very long. But more often than not, his calculation hasn't been off. So when he did take deep, it did not reach a situation where the amount of deliveries were so less that no matter if you hit 6 every ball, you wouldn't have won it. So there has been time where he's tried to take it deep, he's failed. But failed in the sense it could have been like he needed 6 or 12 2 balls, 1 6 came, the other time it did not come. But all I'm saying is he left a chance. The calculation meant that mathematically there always remained a chance. A lot of times he failed, sometimes he succeeded, as happens in cricket. Yeah. But all I'm saying is his calculation of taking it deep technically never went wrong, barring 2015 semi-final where he was actually not taking it deep. That they had given up. But I'm saying on occasions
2019?
where 2019 you never know. 2019 they could have.
I am saying
2019 is up
ultimate proof that MS Dhoni is taking a deep template failed.
No. I'm saying so that he failing is possible, and him failing multiple times is possible. You're not getting what I'm saying is that his calculation wouldn't have been off. So, for example, it wouldn't reach a situation where you need 40 of the last over. It would not reach. Yeah. Either he would get out or he would be unable to hit those sixes, but it will be in the range. It will not reach that situation where. So, I am saying today, had he come up, and I agree with you that even if he had come up, it's not necessarily because today from the first ball he started hitting because that was the need. So, had no other option. Yeah. If he had come up, I agree that he wouldn't have started on as aggressively as he did today, but yet, I don't think he would have missed his calculation where he would have allowed it to go beyond 36 in the last over. Yeah. His calculation would have been, okay, let me keep 20 for the last over. And there's a chance he would have got it, there's a chance he wouldn't have, there's a chance he got out earlier, which is cricket. But what it did or what it would have allowed CSK to do had he been there, that keep them in the hunt. Whether they chased that down, not down, credit to Delhi bowlers, they may have bowled really well, and they did bowl very well, and he wouldn't have been unable to do it. But I think today, because also unfortunately for Chennai, that stage even Shivam Dube, usually who was very aggressive, just could not get anything going. Credit again to the Delhi bowlers, we'll talk about it in detail. But I think if you're looking at in hindsight, and which we have the benefit of the hindsight, if I look at it in hindsight, I'd say Dhoni ahead of Jadeja, better chance of chasing it out. You could still have lost.
Instead of Delhi a 20-run victory, lost margin, it would have been a 5-run loss margin. If that was the case. With MS Dhoni coming up the order.
No, or a win.
No, win was,
no,
see,
how can
in
you
this
be so certain? How can you be so certain?
How can you look at the power play starts that Delhi Capitals had and look at where Chennai lost it. In the power play, you already were staring at a required rate of over 13. And it became progressively worse as the game progressed. I mean, look at it. Daryl Mitchell, 130 strike rate. Shivam Dube, 105 strike rate. Your top order let you down big time. Rachin Ravindra was clueless today. 2 of 12. Now, when 16.1, 120. You needed how much? Another 72 of 23.
No, so when Rizvi gets out,
Yeah.
that's when we were saying Dhoni comes in. Okay, how
That
many
means,
balls you have?
14, so that's 6 overs and 2 balls. So 6.2 overs.
Yeah, so
which
that
about
is
38 balls.
38 deliveries.
deliveries, yeah.
38 deliveries. How many runs do you need at that time?
38 runs, you need about 90.
No.
Yeah.
No, no.
Yeah, that
Not
is
with this.
no. I'm saying in T20 cricket, doable.
I've seen it
In the
happen.
form that he's batting at 231 strike rate, it is not impossible. I'm saying by the time he came out to bat, the target then had become impossible, kind of impossible.
20
there,
no,
it
but
was tough.
Even then,
I agree.
no, but
2018
then-
or a 2017
even-
Dhoni could have
even then-
harbored those hopes, but not a 2024 Dhoni. I'm
You
sorry.
just saw him.
No pressure. You knew what had happened.
Okay. Let's assume. I'll go with it. Let's assume what you're saying is right. That he wouldn't have done it. Maybe the probability of him doing it to a 2020 Dhoni vis-a-vis a 2024 Dhoni would have been less. Agreed. But the chance is, if in 2020, in a situation of whatever 80 odd needed of 38 balls, if in the 2020 Dhoni would do it 3 times out of 8 in 2020, he would do it about 1 time out of 8 to 2024 Dhoni. But at least you had yourself 1 time, which you did not allow with him coming at that stage.
That is the problem. See, we are reading too much into Dhoni's past exploits, if you have to look at. Okay, sure, he did it against, if you may say, he almost did it against RCB in 2019. 26 he hit of the last over, 24 he hit. Okay, 2018, there was a similar situation. But look at the ground, look at the venue when he did it. Smaller grounds, flatter decks, much, I mean, you may say a bowling attack that was not up to the mark. At least here.
Were you seeing the game today? You're giving past example. Were you seeing the game today?
Of course I saw the
So
game today.
what was Dhoni was not being able to clear the boundary? Was the big ground an issue? Was he not being able
None
to
of
keep up
that.
with the strike rate? Was he not? So he was doing
But
it.
the
no?
burden
was
of
doing it.
90 of 38, a Dhoni can't handle it now. It was on a prayer and luck favored him in those times also. Now in 2024, he can't do it.
I think you're
Peak MS
discrediting
Dhoni.
it
No,
by
no.
saying luck helped him.
Peak MS Dhoni 16,
Discrediting.
17 required run rate, he said it is on the border of being impossible. Peak MS Dhoni 16, 17 and over. This was well past 20. A peak MS Dhoni found 16, 17 impossible. You are expecting 20 from a Dhoni whose powers are on the wane. How can we even think about it that way?
Okay, let's take Mohit's opinion.
I don't think it would have made a difference to the result either had Dhoni come ahead of where he did bat. Again, this is something, by the way, which they tried last year in the final. Also didn't work out for Dhoni.
Yeah.
Eventually did for the franchise. And maybe they have now, as we've seen in the past as well, they want Dhoni to be batting in the position that he is now batting in. Also, let's go by last year's numbers. I think his strike rate did manage throughout the whole season about 100 runs. Though those 100 odd runs that came a little under
All
100.
boundaries mostly.
They came at a strike rate of 180. So that was, let's say, the heartening part about MS Dhoni last year. Today, he's finished with a strike rate of 230, which I would look at as a bit of an anomaly, given there is nothing wrong in admitting that Dhoni, big fan of his, but his powers have been on the dwindle for the last couple of seasons. He's past his prime. So to expect that the result would, and you're only looking at Dhoni now to be playing cameos. I think today's 16 balls is probably going to be, for all you know, the most balls that he's going to be playing against any team going forward as well, if CSK are to play the
But
way
that
that
doesn't make it right. If that is the case,
but
that doesn't make it
also
right. Maybe he
another-
should be playing some more deliveries. Maybe that's how Chennai need to go to. I'm saying, given a choice between Jadeja and Dhoni, I think at the moment with the bat, even a 42-year-old Dhoni may be able to offer you more with the bat than Jadeja in T20 cricket, in IPL cricket, not maybe in ODI. Of course, he's not playing, but or Test cricket or anything else. Those formats, Jadeja is far superior the batter. In T20 format, I think an MS Dhoni is still far more explosive than Jadeja. Yes, if you're in a situation where you lost a lot of wicket and you need a bit of consolidation and play a longer inning, and maybe Dhoni, the aging Dhoni, cannot bat for those many deliveries on a consistent basis or do those quick running singles, doubles as he used to. Jadeja can do it better, then I agree. But today wasn't that situation. You needed 80 something in 38 balls. You need about 13, 14 and over at that stage. You need a Dhoni.
Another thing to add to that. Yes, we know from last year to this year he's undergone that surgery as well. He's anyway keeping the wickets for the franchise. I'm not too sure how reliant this MS Dhoni now will be to convert those ones into twos, or be looking at.
But you're not. I agree. I just told you, but you're not looking at ones and twos.
And be looking to stay at the crease for too long anyway.
If he can keep for 20 overs, Harshit, I'm saying once in a while he can bat longer. I'm not saying this will happen every game.
Yes.
Every game maybe 10, 12, 13. I'm saying certain games where you need to change things around. You won't find Chennai in this situation all the time. This is a rare situation. Those situations, you keep it flexible. I feel, and I agree that I have the benefit of the hindsight, so I'm saying it. Maybe while the game was on and you had asked me, I probably would have said send Dhoni or Jadeja, could have been different. But now I have the benefit of hindsight. Let me make full use of it. And I think looking at it in hindsight, I think if a Dhoni went in instead of a Jadeja, there are better chance. You could have still had Delhi
well in the final of the IPL. Were we not all of the same opinion that Dhoni should not have come where he came, and it should have been in fact Ravindra Jadeja only? He should have walked out to bat, given the form and everything that we'd seen from both the batters last year. We were all, I remember, on the same page where we all said unanimously that it should have been Ravindra Jadeja to walk out and not Dhoni in the final. So what's really changed then? Why are we now shifting the goalpost? I think nothing's really changed.
I don't think I remember saying that.
Yes, it was very much a conversation we had. And everyone was of the opinion that Dhoni shouldn't have come out to bat in the first place.
I can't, but anyway, I think the situation in the final was very different. They never reached the situation where they were at this point.
They were
very different. I just told you,
yeah,
if you were in a touching situation, I accepted. I would have probably gone with the Jadeja. This was like a rare. You need a blitzkrieg from a player. Out and out aggressive, not giving it any logic, because the game had reached that far. Nobody at that time. Again, I'm saying it in hindsight. I agree, but I would have sent him. Anyway, that's a matter of.
But even see,
ifs and buts. Ifs and buts.
Tactically, if you look at it, even for 1 over, Delhi Capitals committed harakiri. They very well know that MS Dhoni plays left arm pace incredibly well. Why on earth would you want to persist with Khalil?
Yes.
You could have persisted in the next over if
that
you
was,
look at it.
I'll be honest, that was rookie level bowling from Khalil.
Yes.
And not the other word that I was about to say.
Khalil.
And he had given it away. By
No,
the way,
he was nervous.
Yes, he was nervous.
What Shane
in
points
those
out,
couple of wides right up that he bowled, you had given your plan away, and still you're sticking to it. It just made the job far more easier for Dhoni to know what he was trying, and then lofted the ball on the offside. You had to be more. Again, and see, this is the Dhoni aura, which you really have to admire. A guy way past his prime, international retirement, whatnot. Somebody who doesn't even play regular cricket. He's just a 2-month man. Even then,
Khalil.
Blame him.
Khalil. Water or bat at him.
But can I tell you, it's
just
not
put off by him.
It's not just Khalil who got nervous. Truth be told, and I pointed out to Siddharth in the game, even the umpire was nervous to not give it a white, because there was a ball or two, I clearly remember, which wasn't a white.
Yes.
By Khalil. But it was borderline, and just because MS is batting, MS left it nicely.
Rishabh Pant didn't have the courage to.
No Rishabh Pant, no Khalil, nobody even asked for a review. Should have gone. I'm saying even if the review was upheld or overruled, whatever, it was still close enough in any other circumstances, any other player that you would have gone for a review. But because it was Dhoni, even the opposition team, let it be.
I mean, if it was a 50 needed of a 20 situation, it would have cost Delhi Capitals.
And what about the drop catch?
No, drop catch also.
Also who? Khalil.
Nervous aa gaye the.
Khalil dropped it.
So he was nervous since that point.
Nervous aa gaye the.
Even when we started, his weak arms were heavy. Let's just
quoting Eminem.
Quoting the great.
No, by the way, after the game got over, the first person to go and chat up with Dhoni was Khalil. Must have been like, मैं थोड़ा सा nervous आ गया था धोनी.
धोनी भैया बात ऐसी है.
भाई. Bucks दो भाई. That would have been the thing. But see, despite that, he conceded how much? 14 runs in the final over. Despite that.
But word for, then people will say, keep talking about Dhoni. Of course, he was good. Word for Delhi Pacers, man. Outstanding. All of them, including Khalil, including an Ishant who does not have wickets to show but was outstanding. also sledging his old teammate
Yeah.
in the Jadeja in the process, but that was all in good humor.
Akshar.
Also Akshar, Anrik Nokia as well. I think this performance, even though it'll show the economy is a bit low, but I think he bowled in the tough time, and barring that last over where
over.
MS Dhoni
just
took
his
the
last over that has spoiled the
Exactly.
economy for
Yeah,
him.
he also
Otherwise,
23.
Yeah.
look at his third over for
Yeah.
that matter.
And Mukesh Kumar comes in the 14th over to bowl his
Yes.
first over, given a task, completely changes the game, picking up 2 wickets. So outstanding bowling performance from the Delhi Capital bowl.
Today,
All of them.
what again,
That's what changed the game.
The glimpses you got that glimpse, let's say, from both the bowlers, but in particular from Khalil. I think the last game where he finally found the right channel to be bowling in. Today, exactly what you saw from him right up top, which is where the pressure started to build on both the openers as well.
Even
Bowling in the right channel.
Even in the Rajasthan Royals game, he bowled
Yeah.
really well.
Yes.
Khalil. And
Yeah.
see, there is a change in his action. Previously, if you look at it, Khalil was more round armish and he had a bigger.
Yeah, now he's more.
Now he's slightly
Side.
more close chested. If you have to look at it, he doesn't have that much of a leap anymore. So that
No,
has
sometimes because he came back from an injury, sometimes it's not based on improving the bowling, but it's to
Compulsion.
no, it's also to limit damage. So. So that does not occur again. Your action completely
but-
changes. Happens a lot with fast
But
bowler.
he's made it a lot more
Straighter,
straighter,
yes.
far cleaner. His action previously was a little roundish. His leap was a lot for someone who bowled 130 clicks.
Yeah.
I never understood that.
He could touch 140 as I remember. There was
I mean,
a
in
time.
the,
There was a time.
Bangladesh T20s, he did touch 140.
Yeah, I
So
remember
that's
he could.
Because today, look at the start, and this is where a Prithvi Shaw addition has really bolstered Delhi Capitals.
Don't say that to him.
Because 10 overs.
Don't say that to him.
Hashtag justice for Ricky Bhai.
Absolutely, I'll stand by it.
Okay, but see, vindication, if you have to look at, because
Yes,
10 overs,
Siddharth,
103.
vindication,
Vindication, sorry. Okay, sorry.
This is a whole
Vindication.
different thing.
Because 103 compared to 75 in 10 overs. You could not have made it up.
Vindication will be if Ricky Bui would have it for us. For us.
But it will be directed towards him now.
No.
No, why would he be
He's
vindictive
supporting
towards
him. For us, he'll be vindictive towards us.
Actually,
Yeah, or Prithvi towards him.
Towards him. Prithvi towards him. That's
like a
it.
river change. comes about.
Prithvi Shaw, we told you, we made our best 11. Please check out, he was in the 11. And why is it that it has taken Delhi Capitals to reach the best 11, which we made before they had played the first game? It's taken them
a little while.
2-3 losses
Catch
to
up.
realize that was their best 11. 2 losses. 2 losses to realize that was their best 11. To go with a Khalil and Mukesh and that Anrik Nokia, of course, because whenever he was available, it's taken them time. They've done it, and I think Prithvi Shaw could be. I'll make a prediction because Harshit was like, first we predicted that Prithvi should be there.
Yeah.
Harshit wasn't happy. He comes in, does well, gives them the start that they needed. But I will go so far as to say that this will be a season where you will see Prithvi. Again, you will have to give him leeway. Huh? He plays that aggressive kind of role.
Yeah.
So there are chances that he'll fail. You can't expect him to be in the orange cap. You see your orange cap leadership, Shikhar Dhawan is there in that. But the thing is, he cannot then play that kind of a knock as well, right?
Agreed.
Where he can go bang bang. So if you want that X factor from a Prithvi Shaw, which he will, there will be times that he will fail. But I think there will be good enough reasons to persist with him through the season. He'll keep giving you these match-winning knocks, I think, in this season.
And
See,
look at the end also. Today, the apprentice overtook the master. Look at Rishabh Pant's knock.
You guys are, by the way, you were all complaining about Rishabh Pant's knock.
I'm still going
No,
Match-winning knock he did.
These two.
Mohit has complained about everything about Delhi.
He complained. I didn't complain.
No, I didn't.
no, not Anrik Nokia.
See, I didn't necessarily complain, but my point is that again, I thought that him playing that sort of a take it slow role, it's risky in today's day.
But
and
today
age.
you guys thought they were 20 run short,
10, but yeah.
Yeah.
15, whatever. I think this is the other positive that you've got today. He took time to get into his groove, but at 160 strike rate, if Rishabh Pant can finish at 160 strike rate, help his team reach a above par total, which it does look like now, 191.
No.
then I think it's a great sign for Indian cricket going forward because एक ही नाम सुनाई देता है.
Because that is the thing. I am willing to ignore the remainder of the middle innings long that was there. Because see how much his strike rate was at that time, 100, 110, right, at that point in time. But in the last over, he took on Pathirana. Hit him for sixes, hit him for fours. 25 or 7, that is the role that he's going to be doing at number 6 if you
But
pick
then,
him.
is that a guarantee that he can start playing like that in the death overs? By that logic, then you should open with Kohli and ignore a slow middle over
There is-
strike rate of 130.
See, we
because
are not-
155 is what he gets in the power play.
We are not going by the guarantee factor. I am just saying one thing in that if Rishabh Pant can hit these kind of cameos on a consistent basis starting from the next game also.
But there's a better chance because you gave a Virat Kohli. I think there's a better chance of Rishabh being able to do that.
Yeah.
Then
Because
Kohli
that,
being aggressive in the middle
no,
overs.
from the start. See, because that's not naturally Kohli's game. Though he tried to do it in the Afghanistan T20 series, not naturally, it doesn't come naturally to him. And he said it himself. Remember, there was a time where he was going through a slump. He said, "Listen, I realized I was trying too hard. I needed to go back to my basics and game that suits me. Start off with a few quick singles, doubles, and then build on my innings. That's best suited." I'm saying Rishabh can still be that guy because he's shown us in the past where he doesn't need to be, moving at gear 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 to 6. He could go straight to 5, 6.
Straight to 5.
It is possible. Whether he does it on a consistent basis or not, I think
is the key.
that's a long
even somebody
shot.
batting at number 4 today, he came at number 3 though. But remember, for 3/4 of the innings, he was playing runner ball, which is where my criticism lies. That is exactly what you've seen from him in the first 2 games, and I'm ready. I'll probably take it from a Delhi standpoint at the moment because that is somebody. It's my captain, and I know you're retaining him. You need to give him confidence. All of that.
No,
everything.
but that's not the reason, Harsh.
But-
no, you're not doing it for that. As I said, because the batting lineup of Delhi, you're not allowing him to play runner ball because he's your captain and because you're allowing him to get into form. No, you're allowing him to do that because Pant mentioned that that's the role that's been given to him because
But
everyone else is a dasher. So in a
I will-
Prithvi, in a Warner, in a Mitch Marsh, in a Stubbs, in an Akshar, in an Abhishek Porel, everyone is a dasher.
Warner,
You
given
need
the
a guy
way-
to stabilize the inning.
I don't think
and that's the role that Pant can play well.
Again, I don't think that'll be a good. Also, given the way that he was trying to get those runs as well, didn't give me an impression that his role was to
Somebody will
solidify
have
and
to-
consolidate.
somebody has to play that.
With all those paddles and all that he was trying when he was going run a ball, showed me that he was desperate. He was really trying to get those runs, and things weren't working out for him. Look at his dismissal as well. That ball was there to be hit, but because he was anyway over trying, yes. A couple of balls prior to that, he did manage to clear the ropes, but the ball that should have been deposited in the stand ended up being inside the field and he was caught.
But in the death overs, this 50-50 razor's edge will happen. That will happen in the case. And see, you are not looking at Rishabh Pant as
Did
a
you
3,
saw
4 or
it?
5.
Did you see the time that he went down to the ground when he was trying to lift the ball over the short
He
leg?
tried.
Yes, was he not? Are you telling me he was looking completely in control in those 22 runs that he got?
See, he could have been very well out even 25 runs earlier. Remember that shot that he tried to hit on the offside? The bat slipped. It could have easily rolled back onto
Yes.
the stumps. But in all the 3 games, he's had that. You look at the game versus Punjab Kings. He tried to go over the mid wicket, but what happened? He slipped and he couldn't connect. But that is the risk that you carry with a Rishabh Pant. And he's doing all this despite being away from cricket for 1.5 years.
No, I'm not even giving him that lead.
Okay.
Don't
Fine.
have that extra sympathy. I mean, I don't think even Rishabh would want that.
Yes.
He'd be like, I'm back and treat me like everyone else. That's what he deserves, by the way. And I think now because you're going to be judging him for the T20 World Cup, you got to see him like everyone else. He has made a tough comeback. We've all backed him. I think it was the greatest sight to see him come out and bat and everyone's cheering for him. Now let that be done. Now let him be the guy that we all know him. He's competing for a spot. Let him play like that. And I think today he did. One of them, and he's mentioned it.
Yeah.
That's the role that the management has assigned him. If everyone is a dasher, he needs to bat in a different way, which again, if you're going to micro analyze each shot he's played, then that way though 1,000 people could have been out. Warner can get out early. Dhoni could have been out very early if that catch
But then
wasn't
we
wrong.
talk about, we will have to micro analyze because
You're a tough fan. Tell me one thing you've liked about Delhi today. He did not like Prithvi Shaw. He does not like
No,
it. He did not like the one. He's not happy. He's not happy with how Pant has played. He's not happy about anything
There are-
to do with Delhi. Such a tough
There-
fan.
आज नोएडा में जाओगे दिल्ली जाओगे
There are things that I'm happy about, relieved about as well.
You're getting proper water supply in your house.
Everything.
You like that about Delhi?
Everything is hunky
Your
dory.
AC is working.
Everything.
Summer is coming. You're happy about it.
See, it's I can be a demanding fan, let's say at
Very
times.
demanding. Not demanding.
Understatement.
Very
But
demanding.
to say that I was happy to see Prithvi Shaw he was there in my 11 as well. I agree. When in this room, when we made the 11, he was there.
You're not happy.
But
You're not happy with Prithvi
Because-
being selected. You're not happy with Prithvi when he got the 43. You're not happy when Delhi made 190. You're not happy when Delhi won also. You're not happy with how Rishabh Pant played
if
also.
Prithvi Shaw,
You're only happy with Nokia.
I am very happy
yeah,
with
that's the
Nokia
one
because
thing.
he is one player I was looking forward to, and I was sure also. Yes, the last game that he played, as I said, was rusty for n number of reasons. So it was good to see him back and deliver. But I will persist with the Prithvi Shaw fact that I was happy that the team had taken a tough call, backed a player, not a very young player, but somebody whose place was merited given both his SMAT and Ranji Trophy numbers. If Ranji Trophy numbers weren't good, if a 900 run season isn't enough, then consider the fact that he had a 185 strike rate and an average of 58 in SMAT. So if those numbers aren't enough for you to move past a player after just 2 innings, then I don't know what will be enough.
But you're not getting my point. It's Ricky Bui
And
has
Ricky-
been part of other IPL team. He's not now at the moment some next level player who's done very well, and then you're keeping Prithvi out is another thing.
Neither is Prithvi Shaw.
Oh, Prithvi Shaw, yeah, he's played
Prithvi
India.
Shaw-
Prithvi Shaw. You're
Prithvi
telling
Shaw
me-
from a
you're-
Delhi perspective
you're
has
telling
been a
me
damn
You're
squib.
sitting at an auction. I'll ask everyone. You're sitting at an auction table today.
Let's not
Today,
go. No.
I'm asking
Yeah.
you. You're sitting at an auction table today. Today, you've seen whatever Prithvi Shaw has done all his life. You've got your numbers for Prithvi Shaw.
But
in
that's
IPL, whatever.
I'm saying let's go back.
Let me finish.
Then a
Let
fair
me finish.
assessment will be three. Let's go 3 months back.
No, why 3
month of
months?
December.
I'm saying before this match. The debate was before this match. Nah, Harshit. Why go to December? Before this match. You're sitting at an auction table. All of us are sitting at the auction table. And there is a Prithvi Shaw, and you have budget left for one player. There is a Prithvi Shaw, there is a Ricky Bui up in the auction. Who are you picking? You keep SMAT stats, Ranji Trophy stats, past performances, different franchise, under 19, take anything you want to take. Who is the player that you're picking? One batter.
Duh.
I'm taking Bhui.
What are your...
Yeah, because any other franchise,
Okay.
KKR can do that. But I have.
KKR nahi, we are talking about if you're in a Delhi franchise.
No. So
he does not
Delhi
need
again.
that.
Delhi have anyways. I
Arey,
will.
he has to pretend to be from Delhi. He's not
I'm
KKR.
representing
No,
Delhi
don't look at it from KKR perspective. You've
Arey,
seen.
it doesn't want to either. It's a hypothetical question.
Role playing, yaar.
A role player. It's not. He's not KKR. He's not KKR. It's just a thing.
Would you have him in your KKR side? Given the way that he
done.
was.
Let me put it. Now you need an Indian batter. You need an Indian
And the
batter.
choices
One spot is left. Only 2 are left.
Ah.
Prithvi Shaw, Ricky Bui. You have to pick for KKR.
Prithvi Shaw, any day.
Done.
Okay.
Chennai Super Kings has to pick one. Prithvi Shaw or Ricky Bui. One batter. hai. Chennai Super Kings.
I'm having Bhui.
I
because
will.
I've
I
given-
don't have a franchise because I picked Lucknow to win this year, so I'll just pretend Lucknow's super giant sitting. I have a choice. I will pick Prithvi Shaw 9 times out of 10 because I know he is a game changer. I may have issues with him off the field, on the field, disciplinary issue, whatever. I will find a way to deal with him because I know he's a talent. Given day, he can change it for your team. He can set up games for you. And now that T20 cricket has changed, where you need, by the way, there are not too many batters. Everyone tries to be that aggressive. A lot of batters don't have it naturally. He's blessed with that natural talent to be aggressive all the time. Yes, his problem has been inconsistency, but I'll take him. I will take him. And if the choice is limited between Bui and Prithvi Shaw, any day Prithvi Shaw.
I've had him for 2 seasons, more than 2
Now
seasons.
your turn. Delhi.
And
What is Delhi doing?
Delhi should not, and I hope he's not one of the retained players. I'm pretty sure he won't be. We've seen enough of him over the
Who are
last.
the Indian players you'd retain then?
See,
Kuldeep, Pant,
See, Kuldeep definitely.
Pant.
Pant definitely. Aksar perhaps, yes.
No, I kind of empathize with him in the sense that I know as a Delhi fan, as you can see with his negative attitude also, poor guy. No, there is a reason for it. No, he's
I
suffered a
won't-
lot. He has suffered. I agree.
I'm saying,
and I agree that you
I
have
will not
you
know
have been
anything
disappointed
new.
by Prithvi.
Exactly, I will
know
not know
that.
anything new about again. And like I said, I have it, let's say as a fan as well, I would want to see much more of a player than move on after 2 matches. That's not good enough. Simple as
No,
that.
I though wouldn't have. My point was, I wouldn't have even given 2 matches to begin with. I would have started with, as I said, Prithvi Shaw only. Even we have seen him fail, right? So again, we're gauging from each franchise perspective. If let's say they're putting themselves in your shoes and he's not been doing well, yet you're starting with him. As I said, if you remember our best 11 selection, we had said that we'll start with Prithvi, but this is his last season. He needs to do well. So you will give him an extended run of 5-6 matches because he's an X-factor player. If he continues to fail once again and this season goes down the way that it is, then I go to plan B. And my plan B could have been Ricky Bui. But my plan A had to be Prithvi Shaw, which is what surprised me.
I was okay for an experiment to happen this year because last season Prithvi Shaw was my plan A, the season before that Prithvi Shaw was my plan A, and the season before that as well he was my plan A. So I think there was reason enough for you to try plan B, and Ricky Bui was plan B and not plan A. So for those reasons,
for this season,
and there were numbers to back him as well. There were numbers to back
this season. He was plan A, no? Ricky Bui. Started with him. Every season has to be a different plan.
So no, certain plans don't change. Again, you were, which is why for a reason you had, even when we were making the 11, Prithvi Shaw, David Warner, because that has been the precedent. You thought that you weren't looking at right at the start that Ricky Bui would be the one starting.
Exactly. So that was plan A, for this season.
But then it changed.
That's what I'm saying. That's the complaint. Shouldn't have changed. Okay, one word before I forget. Chennai have lost, yes. MS played really well, but so did Pathirana. I want to know what happens to Pathirana when he dons the yellow of Chennai.
What is that catch?
That Pathirana, same guy, observed him very closely in the last few months. Wasn't the same. And by the way, there was this video that was doing the round of him touching Dhoni's feet. That is so false wrong. False news. He was actually
marker.
Changing his marker. That angle was such. It made it look like as if
touching his feet.
taking his blessings and all. That was it. Though he may be taking his blessings, not like that. But in general,
he has his blessing. Everyone knows it. But he won't go around touching his feet.
Yeah. I'm just saying.
A bit much.
See, he the field and log आशीर्वाद दे दिया धोनी ने.
Because he was setting the field, so they thought he gave.
I tell you, people
Out of context.
people in India really know to put everything out of context. I'm telling you in that sense. And Pathirana, as I tell you, in CSK he has a much defined role than what he has with the Sri Lankan team. MS Dhoni had said, "Don't play Pathirana in ODIs; he'll get hammered." It exactly happened in that sense.
Oh, but again, I think what helps is that CSK are far more settled. Okay, Sri Lanka is a turmoil-based team to be playing for. You need to be having the thickest of thick skins to be representing Sri Lanka. Now, considering the amount of chaos that's there in the,
Yeah, I mean the board is bankrupt, the officials are corrupt.
He's one of theirs.
He is one of theirs, isn't it?
Is he? Will they give him honorary citizenship? No? That is a...
That's only for Murli. Murli is an OCI anyway. He is an OCI holder.
How can he be?
He is married Madimalar, no?
So can he be?
Yeah, he is.
You can be?
You can. Overseas citizen of India, he can be.
Okay, because of his marriage to an Indian.
Yes.
But not because of his heritage, right?
No,
then that would be... That would be a big political debate.
No.
Okay.
I mean, in Sri Lanka, he himself...
I don't know the rules. So
He was caught in a catch-22. Okay, he's a Hill Tamil who spoke up against what the Elan Tamils were doing to the Sinnadas, but he got banned from both sides.
Yeah.
That is the kind of...
Then
That's
there was
in
a
his
huge
movie.
debate over appropriation of Budhaiya Muralidharan.
Yeah, there would be. That's why I don't want to get into it.
Yeah. Okay.
Siddharth can do a special video explaining the politics.
Yeah.
They didn't allow the Sri Lankan players to play.
Yeah, I mean, from 2012, CSK didn't pick anybody until 2019, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And the first guy who broke the jinx for them was Tikshana. But even there was a massive uproar even for Tikshana's inclusion.
because of the...
Because he belonged to a regiment that had committed war crimes in 2009, and the guy who gave him the commission was himself accused of war crimes.
But technically it's not his fault, right? Whoever has commissioned him.
The trolls have to understand that when this incident happened, Tikshana was 9 years old. When that incident
What did he
happened.
have to do with it?
Yeah, he had nothing to do with it.
But is Yorker to Mitch Marsh today, man?
And to Tristan Stubbs.
And to Stubbs.
150 kmph. Next level.
Tristan Stubbs, I think, must be having nightmares of Pathirana. He's been dismissed by him thrice, and I think he scored 5 runs against him.
I mean, so on cue, they
Yeah, we just say it.
Yeah.
Should have asked for something else.
Indeed.
Should have asked for something else. Okay, plenty questions today. Let's go. Let's get cracking then. Sarthak Arya says, you guys were being too hard on Pant after the first innings. Pant was excellent as a batter and captain today. I will be sounding too excited, but I hope he continues to the form and makes the edge
At
for the
least
world.
someone sounds excited.
I know.
DC fans.
Is he a DC fan?
How do you know?
He just says, I will be sounding too excited. It's written there.
No,
Wait,
but we
maybe
don't
he's
know
a
whether
Pant
he's a Delhi.
He's just a Pant fan.
But
Not
India.
a DC fan.
एक
India
ही
fan.
नाम सुनाई देता है
एक ही नाम
इंडिया.
सुनाई
Indian.
it's nice to see some excitement around DC.
Yes.
Even if it's for the Indian team.
No, Rishabh, as I said, I think that slot is still open, and
Yes.
you had the BCCI secretary,
Say as
Jesha,
much.
say it, yes.
And if he continues with that consistency, that EQ factor will then go away, that emotional quotient factor. Then just plain performances alone, he can make it.
Yep. Okay, Pranit Danta, in the telecast,
Ponting
in the bowling coach.
Acha,
Warner,
that's
yeah,
Ponting.
it's Ponting.
I thought he was pointing at something. Yeah. Okay, in the telecast, Ponting and bowling coach.
And Warner were livid at why Nokia wasn't being bowled in the 18th over. Pant instead backed Mukesh, shows good captaincy instinct. Valid point.
Yeah, absolutely. By the way, Ponting was livid even after the game, having an
I think
argument with the
he's
official.
getting livid over a lot
No,
of things.
I think
Yeah.
he's got the Delhi vibe far more. Angry Fufaji.
He does, he
rubbed
does.
onto him in
And
a
by
big
the way, he's, I must say it, as great a player as he was, and I was a big fan, as coach, especially in IPL, he's got a very long extended run. I can't think of too many coaches that would survive such poor performances. Delhi have been very, very kind to him. Very, very kind to Ricky Ponting. Most other franchise, you'd have to go.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
I don't know what, maybe it's that frustration that keeps boiling over. He's fighting with everyone, which he used to as a player anyway.
Exactly.
Nothing much has
Nothing
changed.
much has changed.
Two volatile elements in Dada and Ponting in that.
No, Dada are very dignified and calm.
Yeah.
You barely see him behave like that.
Yep. But even in that, when the rule was being there, even he was also pretty.
See, he's not been
Yeah.
happy with a few things. He's not been happy with the surface that he gets over here in Delhi. And then you've gone to...
That I don't blame him. In Delhi,
Yeah,
you don't
well,
get what you want.
So he's
I don't blame him.
been at wars, let's say, with the DDCA and the franchisor, as you know.
If you
because
have
it's not
covered
ideal.
cricket, if you have been, you would know how tough it is to deal with the DDCA. DDCA doesn't pick half the players. Half these amazing guys, including a Mayank,
My God.
was ignored. Not good enough, not to be played. See how well they. So, Delhi dealing, I don't blame Dada.
Exactly.
Or anyone for that matter.
Yeah.
So Lavkaran Tour from the US is saying, Harshit sir should look at us PBKS fans. 17 years going on, still supporting him, knowing they won't qualify again.
That's the Punjabi love, man.
Yeah.
That's the Punjabiat, good fun. Doesn't matter. Win or lose, we'll have a good time.
Yeah.
Happy. Happy go lucky, as they say.
Yep. Indeed.
Uh-huh.
Divyank clearly being sarcastic and not knowing what is it. Sid's WC team, Rahane Saha, Manish Pandey, Parag, Vijay Shankar, Dhoni, Karthik, Chawla, Ishant, Umesh and Unadkat. Based on Oz's ruthlessness and Thalaism.
I cannot make head or tail of his 11.
I know,
No,
seriously.
he's clearly being sarcastic.
No, I get that, but even sarcasm has to have some sort of context.
No,
right?
maybe
There is none.
he's going after
He
Singh.
just wants to go with no head or no tail. He just wants to go after me. That's it.
You're saying, no, the Australians are ruthless. And
And
Yeah,
Thalaism.
And Thala is.
And Thala
by the
said-
way,
Thala
I hope Rahane for T20 World Cup is not trending after today.
No way.
Just I'm checking.
But he's retired.
Thala for T20 World Cup.
as mentor again.
Comment, most comments
Thala for T20
I mean,
or
August
Nana
15th, 2020 at 1929 he had said goodbye. I think we better leave it
Respect
at
that.
Respect that.
Respect.
Yeah, he's not, we can't become like Pakistan where a 40-year-old or 45-year-old comes by. Please.
Officially.
What is happening in their captaincy thing, man? Amazing. They drop Babar Azam as captain from all format, then appoint Shaheen Shah Afridi. He does one series in all. After that, they say, no, we need a long-term solution. I thought you need a long-term solution, so you drop Babar to go with the Shaheen Shah Afridi. And so you went for a long-term solution. That long-term solution lasted all of one series. And now you're saying, we need another long-term solution, for which you're going back to a Babar Azam.
No, and look at the dispensary. Hafiz was promised 3-4 years. He lasted 3-4 months.
Incredible.
I mean, if you want revolving doors, Pakistan keep on want to push it
No,
harder.
but now so apparently they're saying that Babar has put some conditions. He needs to be all format and needs a longer rope wants to continue. But the thing is, the ones who the president and the new selection committee, they'll promise them, we don't know how long they'll last.
For all you know, Zaka Ashraf comes back. He brings back Shaheen Afridi.
Seriously.
Although I will say this, if I'm Babar, the only way I can feel hard done by is being removed as T20 captain. Let's be fair, 21 took them to the semis with a team that had no right being there. 22 took them to the final, once again with a team that had no right being there.
Yeah.
True.
He was hard done by there.
No, just that one World Cup, 50 over World Cup just cost him. But unfair.
As well as his tests.
But can I tell you what will also be unfair? Like, I agree that T20 shouldn't have lost the captaincy. What will also be unfair, now if he wants all format, I think Shan Masood's done a decent job of the test. Those 3 test matches. No, but you expected them to win. I think 2 test matches, they almost gave them a tough fight. One, of course, was a one-sided.
In Melbourne
and his aggressive captaincy came in for a lot of praise. See, again, you have to look at the kind of personnel they went with, right?
Yeah.
They stood no chance beating that Australian. Any captain, you could have anybody come. Thala could have captained. Nothing would have had.
Imagine. They had Abdullah Shafiq at slip who couldn't even catch a beach ball.
That's true.
So, given the circumstances, I think Shan Masood, everyone said that, very sharp, he was very aggressive, some out of the box thinking. So, he got them in those 2 test matches to make them at least exciting.
People also pointed out he was doing a much better job at pressers.
That too he will, far more articulate but that aside, as an ambassador aside, but
see, the last Pakistan captain who had that much of a good vision and handled the press rather well was Misbah. Misbah used to say that, okay, we are really doing some good things on the field and off the field, and there was a stability.
No, but that should not be the reason
that
to select.
cannot be.
He was a nice captain. He was a
It was good.
But
Even Yunus also. Yunus was
CT champion.
In Yunus's captaincy, there was turmoil.
No, but I'm saying again, going back to how he dealt with the press, spoke.
He was a pretty
decent job.
Safi Bhai was the best.
Safia, same.
Whatever he said.
My answer also says.
Safia was too cool.
And he was such a walking, talking meme, that man, yawning in between.
But you know what I like? He had a couldn't careless attitude.
Yeah.
You can do whatever you want to do, make memes, do what.
Goes out of the team, comes back into the team.
No, but he was a good captain, huh? Good cricketer,
as a
good
leader,
captain.
But he was unfortunately one of those who was picked for being captain. Because his wicket keeping used to be dodgy and less than over his batting the better.
Although he started out well with the bat, later on it tapered off.
Oh, tapered up big time.
Yeah.
And then politics also.
Of course, the Karachi
Lahore rivalry. Sai Dattu from the US first called this knock selfish knock, should be like VK played.
Which knock?
MS Dhoni knock. Okay?
Hardly.
Sai Dattu.
Or Rishabh Pant's knock.
No.
Which one is he talking about?
Okay, I
But
think he said MS Dhoni.
none of them were selfish.
It can't be
whichever
selfish,
one.
Sai Dattu, for a simple reason. You are not winning in the case of Chennai Super Kings. If MS Dhoni had ensured that from a winning position you had lost, then it was a very selfish knock. But today's selfish knock, aggressive knock, great knock.
And selfish knock is when you're chasing a milestone. What milestone was he chasing?
Yeah. And Virat Kohli, I'm sorry, Bangladesh knock, selfish. I'm
New
really.
Zealand.
New
I
Zealand also
disassociate myself with any comment that Siddharth is making. You go ahead, you make. You're free.
I mean, of course, everybody.
Independent.
Nobody will call a spade in that sense. It was blatantly, obviously selfish.
It's like when people, I saw a lot of people saying, Kohli was selfish versus KK. I'm like, if he was selfish, my friend, he'd have got to the 100.
Yeah.
He didn't even get to the 100, yeah?
Because he ran out of balls, simple. Yeah. He needed another 20 overs to get there, probably.
Next question, please.
Praneet Datta.
It's on a bota board at times, yeah.
See, you know what he has achieved today?
What?
A smile and a laugh out of
Exactly.
Harshit. Well done, Siddharth.
Thank you.
Done it.
Praneet Datta, on that Dhoni getting promoted by Dada, don't you think they should give Jadeja more time to bat so that he can come back to form and make more impact?
No,
But who are you putting him in place of? Dubey?
No, also, I don't think Jadeja is out of form or has any lack of cricket. He plays all formats, so he's in the thing. I think that's his limitation. He can accelerate, he can bat, but I think he's more suited to do that in ODI cricket than just T20. I think he's not that big or that sort of a dasher that you'd want. He has his limitations. And Test cricket also, I think he's fantastic with the bat. But just overall, I thought today we needed a X factors out of a batter.
Which
Maybe
didn't happen.
Dhoni could have. Yeah.
Manchester Rising from the US is saying, who's India's greatest white ball player? Mahi, SRT or VK?
SRT.
Very good question. Very, very good question.
Sachin.
Sachin Ramesh
Yeah, for me also
Tendulkar.
Sachin.
It depends. Also, see, take nothing away from either VK or Mahi, but with Sachin, the era matters.
But can I also tell you he's missing out on one name, and he should be in the debate, is Yuvraj Singh.
Yuvraj
yeah,
Singh.
of
The
course.
white ball thing. Because again, I will never look at absolute numbers. You have to look at impact.
Impact. The
And that
greatest
needs to be.
matchman.
Because in Mahi's case, we do that. I don't think pure numbers
Yeah.
will bring him close to a SRT or a Virat Kohli. But we look at Mahi because of his impact. And I think in that conversation, you need to have a Yuvraj as well.
There's no bowler in this conversation though.
Yeah.
Do we?
No, can't be in the
No,
greatest.
doesn't come in the
You
same.
can like him as a personal favorite.
No,
No.
and also he was someone who was an
Can't
impact
be
If,
the
player.
let's say
greatest.
if India had won the
Yeah.
World Cup this year or the year gone by, maybe Jasprit Bumrah could have been part of the conversation.
No, but it's too long away
And with
for
Bumrah,
him to
actually,
reach that
careers
level.
were-
I'm saying had he,
That
but
way, by the way, there are a lot of underrated players. For example, Saurav Ganguly himself, very underrated. His numbers in white ball cricket.
And
A Viru would come right up there.
And
yeah,
if you want,
Viru slacks a bit in ODIs.
Test
Test
undoubtedly.
undountably, he makes all
maybe
time.
because he didn't play in the T20 era, Mohammad Azharuddin.
Azhar, yeah, but again, I'm looking at like, okay, I agreed, like that you have multiple white ball players. I mean, for that matter, Kapil Dev, but you're looking at absolute greatest. So you'll just have to zero it down to 3, 4. I think he's got 3 very good choices.
names,
I think I would include a Yuvraj there.
Yeah.
4. Rohit 2, actually a good call in white ball. In white ball, his impact has been outstanding. So these 4, 5 you need to look at. But I'll go with Sachin Tendulkar simply because of the conditions that existed.
No new ball.
Yes, in white ball. It was next to
extra
impossible to
pathways,
score hundreds then
And he was.
when he was scoring.
He gave India belief in an era when India were absolutely woeful.
Yep. Yep.
He
I
gave
think
you
he was-
reasons to smile, Sachin Ramesh
He
Tendulkar.
was,
So.
no, I mean that apart, his impact I agree, that apart, but I'm just, if you're not going to look at it from other, emotional or social reasons, even if you don't look at that, you just look at pure cricketing reasons, even then, because as I said, those days of white ball cricket were very different.
Very different.
Correct.
Yeah, one ball for 50 overs in the pitches that you were getting at that time. By the way, that those days you never got these kind of belters everywhere.
Oh,
It used to be
yeah.
rarity.
You would get those
So,
slow,
correct,
turgid pitches in the subcontinent, then you'd have pacey,
Yeah.
bouncy, swinging
Correct.
pitches in England and Australia and New Zealand.
reverse swing, discoloration, all of that.
Yeah, soft ball. By the way, use of saliva and sweat.
Yes.
That made a huge difference to the. It would have been impossible. I've spoken to a lot of batters who batted at that time. They said that after the 30 over, to get the ball, no matter how set you were, because as you get set, your strike rate improves. To get it past the 30-yard circle was a task for a batter. So can you imagine now it's exactly the opposite, where if you look at Rohit Sharma's double hundreds, how you're so comfortable even later that the ball is so hard
The
because
hardness remains,
yes,
yeah.
and there's not too much of
Essentially, it only gets 25 overs,
correct,
right? A ball.
So that hard flatter tracks where you are accelerating later, there you see your why was it so tough to chase down 260 70s in those days. And if you look at it, if you had a start, look at the scorecards, you'll have a start of let's say 120 for 1, 130 for 2, and all out in 230
230, yeah.
or 220.
And
Which could be winning totals, right?
Correct, because once the ball went, it was next to impossible. You would hold out, you would either hold out, ball would get stuck, you'd no pace of the ball, you'd get bored, leg before, various other
And
things. Very
Sachin
tough,
with
very,
the-
very tough.
उस टाइम पे कोई ये भी नहीं था कि बाद में संभाल लेगा, वो सब सोच के
नहीं,
प्रेशर में खेला।
बाद में संभाल इसलिए नहीं पाते थे, because the ball was very tough. It was not easy to chase down totals like it is now.
Now imagine in that context, someone like a Bevan, who was a finisher.
Oh.
Yeah, that was another thing. He did not have too much support. While
and
they were good
also
players.
Sachin played with better bowling attacks.
Oh, against you mean?
That
Yes.
remains, again, that every generation will continue to contest which generation had better bowlers and all. See,
I mean,
that is a lot to do with subjectivity.
No, it would be like West Indies. Who are your bowlers now? He played Ambrose, Walsh at that time.
Walsh.
Pakistan,
I mean, Akram,
Wasim,
Waqar,
Waqar, who are your
yeah,
bowlers
come
now?
on.
I mean, they're good, they're good bowlers, a lot of players, but not the class that you
And
had.
then Australia, McGrath, Lee, Gillespie.
He played McDermott also at his
McDermott,
peak.
oh,
Yeah.
Billy.
So all of that,
Craig.
not the same.
Billy was his nickname.
Yeah,
I mean,
the same-
I know
that's what-
Hazelwood Cummins, a very good bowler.
Good bowlers
But
and-
would you put them?
In the same bracket.
See, the fact that again, then the debate will extend to the fact that bowlers these days cannot afford to prioritize, let's say, Test cricket the way that it happened in the past. Nowadays, you're looking at how you can extend and be more versatile and this and that. So all of that. Again,
I think this is a
let's-
very big debate.
Very big
Yeah,
debate.
we'll get
because
into
those in the present generation, again, let's say those.
But right now you can answer
Sachin
instead of
probably,
Garrett.
Sachin.
Sachin. So it's unanimous.
Unanimous.
Okay.
टीवी बंद हो जाती थी ऑटोमेटिक
Rakesh Bhushan.
Intent of naming each franchisee on city was having more players from that city, region, state, so that fan will feel a connect. Actually, leave aside player, even a captain is important. How a fan will stay connected?
He's bang on.
Yeah.
I've always said that. This whole thing of having just auction where anyone could see, it started off with having marquee players, catchment areas. None of that is taken care of.
They would have been able to assemble a team right now.
No, so anyone, like for example, Gautam Gambhir goes to Lucknow, he knows players in Delhi circuit, he'll pull them from there. Somebody else, they get a coach from some certain region, he knows players, pulls them out. That is done. But I agree that there has to be some sort of
I
a.
mean, look at Chennai, it looks like a Maharashtra Super Kings here. So many people-
Gujarat is from Tamil Nadu.
Tamil Nadu, exactly.
Punjab is the only team, which
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
again, not too much, but at least they try to have a local flavor.
RCB have
At
had
the
a course
cost,
correction.
at the cost of being bottom of the table.
RCB have had a course correction.
Even
They have
KKR
got
have like 4 North Indian players. Nitish Rana, you've got Harshit
So
Rana.
that's fine, but so long as you got some local players,
don't?
You don't.
You
That's the
don't.
problem. Having players from
I
north,
mean,
east, west, south.
Kolkata Knight Riders for some years their overseas was their only local, but he was an overseas. Shakib Al
Shakib Al
Hasan.
Shakib Al Hasan.
Can you imagine?
True. Love Karan again says never been fan of MSD, but dude was doing 12, 13 and over when getting 8 runs and over was huge.
Yeah, he was ahead of his time in that regard. Absolutely.
No, but even today, where others were struggling to get 8 and over, was doing 12,
He
13.
was a pioneer, yeah, when it came to, let's say, the whole thought of it. He was the one who gave birth to that thought, taking it deep and all. Who else otherwise thought of it that cricket could be played that way?
Michael Bevan. But yes, he didn't
No,
go
not
8 or
very
9
different.
for over. Yeah.
Yuvraj
also
Singh
different
did.
era.
Yuvraj.
Yeah.
Put Bevan in this era and people would appreciate him a lot more.
I know, seriously.
Manchester Rising. Who wins the EPL? City, Liverpool, Arsenal.
Right
Good guys
now,
go
Liverpool
pick.
are on top.
Yeah,
City Arsenal played out a dull nil-nil
Dull,
draw.
nil-nil, yeah.
But I'm saying City still.
Yeah, I'm also saying City.
I hope it's Arsenal.
No.
Says a Manchester United fan. Yes.
Yeah, because
Because
Oh,
no
he's
skin in
not
the
an
game.
Arsenal. No,
exactly,
no, no.
not picking the other two.
Those sanctimonious people do not deserve a title.
No. Okay. Nothing. I am
So that
totally.
pick any na. Who would you want?
Uh,
City, Arsenal,
Manchester
Liverpool.
City.
City. Okay, done. Shubham Gar.
Only thing I need to say now is VK has gotten longest rope in Indian cricket of playing selfish cricket and accumulating runs. I'll just say it in one line here. Any other cricketer in that 2020 to 2022 period would have been chucked out for the form
No,
that he was
no,
on.
no, you're
Yes,
being
yes,
hard.
yes. It was just the reputation of Virat
Yes,
Kohli.
but,
so
he
that's
deserves
what-
it.
yeah,
He deserves. If
For an
Sachin
exceptional
would have gone through a bad
bowler.
phase, wouldn't you have given that long rope? Of course you would.
Extraordinary.
I think it deserves.
extraordinary
Yes.
people.
Yeah, they get.
They command extraordinary treatment
it's
at times.
only India that can do this. 2 years. No other team can do
No,
it.
no, you will give. Yeah, I think
No.
you're being harsh.
It'll be
Anyway,
a disservice if you didn't treat a player of that stature. that way.
Divyang says, Siddharth, it was only a joke. Why are you serious every time? Exactly, I
Obviously,
agree.
a
Yeah.
joke.
It was.
Give him a flying kiss.
I know it was
Give him a-
sarcastic. Yep.
Flying kiss.
Yes, Divyang, I'll not be so serious every time.
Yeah,
Point taken.
he's
Thank
joking.
you.
Speaking of light,
because he made MS Dhoni captain, not Vijay Shankar. That's why.
Was it? I didn't look at it that closely.
But anyway, Mr. Shekhar.
says on a lighter note, what kind of an agenda are my lovely partners running by not hanging my GT and DC kit here on this auspicious day? DC
This is right here. Is it not coming in the frame?
And GT
It
is over there.
GT may
It
be
is
out.
there. It'll come
off
tomorrow.
the frame.
One of
No,
these
it'll
days
get in
it'll
the
come.
frame tomorrow.
But on this auspicious day, yes, it is an auspicious day. It's Easter Sunday. Now, no, not anymore.
Not
It's
anymore,
Monday
yeah.
now. But was where we reached 300K. So thank you once again
Yep.
to all of you who are part of our
And MS
extended
Dhoni took his
family.
300th dismissal today.
Yeah, and all of you are half of you are trolls, half of you are lovely cricket analysts, half of you are lovely people in general, but all of you in all shapes and sizes, the one who send us hate, the one who send us love, the one who have good things for us, the one who have not so good things, everyone is a part of our family, isn't it?
Exactly. Point
Okay,
taken.
well, that one we haven't taken, Shivam.
The 2K one.
2K. 300.
Okay, Rakesh Bhushan says, I disagree with Sid that MSD has faded into oblivion. Khalil was a miser till MSD came out to bat. We saw Khalil spraying the ball all around and sweating profusely.
Exactly.
MSD once said, bowlers bowling to me in death overs are more in pressure because what they see in front of them is MSD. I don't think he said it like that.
No, he didn't say that.
Correct. He said,
Pressure is more on the
More on the bowler, yeah.
but it was his general philosophy of a batter, saying that a batter should think like that because the bowler has more pressure.
And Rakesh Bhushan, this situation ended in 2020 and it is continuing till now. It ended. And the guy who bowled the last over started the thing. He and Kagiso Rabada in Abu Dhabi, if I am not mistaken, or it was Dubai, if I am not mistaken. In those two, I think it was one of the league games, bowling stump to stump, 145 clicks. Dhoni had no answer. Yep.
Okay, on that note, we will say, okay, final comment from Shubham Garg says, Sidvi, Kohli averaged 43 in ODIs from 2020 to 22, second highest among Indians during that period. Still feel he should have been dropped from the side.
Wrong. He didn't average 43 in 2020, 2022. He averaged 47. He averaged 71 in T20s. But in tests, that is the only place where he struggled. He was having an average of 29. I know those numbers, but for the high standards that Kohli set for any other cricketer, he would have been just axed, just like that, without any explanation. It's the bitter truth.
Okay, let's call it a night.
Yep.
Anyone wants to say anything?
None. I have one thing to say.
Yes.
The biggest takeaway I have from this match, big important breaking news, KKR are top of the table.
Ah, well done.
Oh yes.
KKR are top of the table.
That's a fan.
And you could increase your lead because you're taking on DC.
Oh, but DC
On
has found
Wednesday.
at the right time.
No, he's already given.
already
No,
given.
who's going to win? KKR. I think we are not going to be there. And our bowlers have already had the best day. Prithvi Shaw has played the one good knock that he has to play all
See,
season.
you don't have
We are
to
losing.
to beat, let's say, certain other teams. You don't have to be at your best.
Oh!
Okay.
Yeah. So
So we can beat them at half.
And Delhi boys, we know.
Delhi boys, so half the Delhi boys are in KKR.
That's what. No. That's why. That's why.
Nitesh,
That's why.
Suyash Sharma.
That's why.
Okay, you want to say anything, Harshit?
I'm
Siddharth?
I'm done.
Bye bye. Good night. Thank you once again. 300k.
Big double header day. Thank you all for the love.
Yep.
See you tomorrow. Take care. Good night.
Mumbai
Vanakkam.
Indians' first home game tomorrow.
So the action never really stops.
Yes. Bye bye.
Good night. Nandri, Vanakkam, Shubhratri, Shabba Khair.
Don't trouble your mother and eat your vegetables.